What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 139, and we start today's episode by seeing the board of transfer listed Calabria, as we haven't offered him a contract yet. Calabria, like De Sciglio and Bonaventura, is out of contract in the summer, but unlike De Sciglio and Bonaventura, he's not a first 11 player. He doesn't even get on the bench. We signed Kenny in the summer transfer window and Jetro Williams as well. Williams now plays left back for us. Kenny is a backup right back, with De Sciglio being the first choice right back, so Calabria is a third choice right back. He wants a wage increase, he wants a new contract, he's not going to get one, so if he goes in January and signs a pre-contract somewhere else or gets released in the summer, I really don't mind. He'll stay on the transfer list, and that's totally fine with me. Still, coming to the first game of today's episode here, we take on Napoli away at the Stadio San Paolo in a massive game of the season, one of the biggest ones so far. Napoli currently top of the table right now. We've fallen off the pace a little bit with no win in our last 3 games, so taking on Napoli here, a massive game for us. Jeremy Jakovic provided the first highlight for us, an unbelievable slide tackle to take out Lorenzo Insigne there, doing his best Manuel Neuer impression and keeping it goalless. Then Bakic's shot went wide the post, and on the stroke of half time, how about this from Jetro Williams? I'm so frustrated that Koulibaly, the Napoli defender, got a touch on this shot, deflected it behind for a corner, because if he didn't, I think Williams would have found a top corner and scored one of the goals of the series, let alone the season. A storming run from our left back there, but sadly he couldn't find the back of the net. So still 0-0 going to the break. Napoli hadn't really done much in this game at all, though, to be honest. They are top of the table, but they weren't really showing why they are top of the table. They were really, really poor, and in the 64th minute here, we should have got the winning goal of the game. Marco Ryan was played through by an excellent through ball from Stefan El Shaarawy. Looks like a completely different player this season, but Marco the magician. So often we see him get past the last man, go through one-on-one and finesse it into the corner. I tried to do the same thing there, but unfortunately, he went with a weaker right foot as opposed to the stronger left foot and curled it wide of the post. So a bad miss from Ryan Tala there, and the game does finish 0-0. Napoli only recording 1 shot in the entire game, a really frustrating one for us. Check out the goalkeeper as well, 92 overall, how about that? But either way, a goalless draw. It's not a bad result away at the Stadio San Paolo, away at the league leaders Napoli, but it's now 4 games without a win in the Serie A, and right now our form is just, it's really, really poor. I mean, it really is. We had our first loss of the season against Inter in the last episode. We're just not playing like a team that spent over £100 million in the summer transfer window, and in total, in the 3 transfer windows we've had, we've spent over £200 million, I do believe, or at least close to it, and there or thereabouts. So it's ridiculous, but this Milan side, I know when we took over, wasn't as strong as it could be. I knew we had a lot of work to do to take it to the next level, but after all the money we spent, I truly believe that, in the Serie A, the Serie A's got some good teams, don't get me wrong, but we should be able to really, just establish ourselves as the clear favourite to win the Serie A. We won it last season. I wanted to retain our trophy this year and, be so dominant in the league this year, have a really memorable season, but instead, we got off to a really good start, but now we're in really inconsistent form, and it's just frustrating me so much, but I've got to get it sorted, otherwise we'll fall behind the pack and we'll struggle to make up the ground. Still following our couple of international friendlies with Canada, we won them both. I'm just loving the Canadian development right now, and hopefully you guys are as well. It really is so fun for me to watch the team get better and better year after year, even though right now we've only got 1 Canadian player in our team. We take on Atalanta though for the second game of today's episode here, back at the San Siro in the Serie A. Desperate to return to winning ways here, and what a great start as well, because just 29 minutes in, he missed a sitter in the game against Napoli that would have won us the game, but he does score here, redeem himself, and the captain scores to make it Milan 1, Atalanta 0. So Ryan Tala with the goal, got played forward down the right hand side, cuts in onto his stronger left foot. How often have we seen that in a Milan shirt? Really nice finish as well, right into the top corner, and Marco the magician gets his 7th goal in the Serie A so far. So he's had a really great start to the season, Ryan Tala, desperate to retain his golden boot, and that was a really, really good finish. So 1-0 to Milan. Atalanta had a good chance to equalise there in the 33rd minute, but Cazorla's strike went wide the post and behind for a goal kick. Great chance for the skipper there, as he wasn't under pressure with his first time volley, couldn't hit the target. And then 5 minutes later, another good chance to the away side here, coming forward to shoot, but this shot going into the side netting and behind from D'Alessandro. So still 1-0 to Milan, but Atalanta kept on hustling, kept on putting the pressure on here, and as things stood, I knew that we were leading by a goal to nil, but it wasn't going to be long before they'd find an equalising goal, and they would do just that 2.5 minutes before the break. I just couldn't contain Atalanta. Every time they came forward, they forced a few bodies at me. I didn't feel comfortable at the back, and what a strike that is from just outside the area by Lucas Milano, and the number 42 makes it Milan 1, Atalanta 1. So the away side back on level terms, and full value for it as well. They were playing well, had more possession, higher pass accuracy, and were looking really good when going forward as well. So 1-1, Atalanta back on level terms. Charities made a good save here 4 minutes after the restart to keep us on level terms here, but as Atalanta grew in confidence, I was starting to think that maybe we'd have our second defeat of the season and would once again fail to win. But with 15 minutes to go here, we pick the ball up, trying to get ourselves a winning goal, and when we need someone to step up, when we need a hero, who do we turn to? Marco the Magician. He was so frustrated not to score that winning goal against Napoli that would have won us the game in a big game, one of the most important games of the season, away at the league leaders, but he redeems himself in this one, scoring the first goal, then watching us concede an equaliser, but then with 15 minutes to go, controlling De Sciglio's bullet pass, and what a finish as well. I just love the way he swiveled on the turn there, got it out of his feet as quickly as he could, and rifled it into the top corner to make it Milan 2, Atalanta 1. For Djokovic though, hasn't been in great form of late, but what a save this was, 8 minutes to go. Really good stop there by our Canadian goalkeeper that keeps it 2-1 and does ensure that we will win the game and return to winning ways after 4 games without one. So final score, Milan 2, Atalanta 1. This again, a very frustrating game. Atalanta played well. I honestly believe they deserved a point in this game. They really were a good side to play against because they really attacked us and wanted to get the winner, not just settle for a draw away at the San Siro. A really fun game to play in that one, but thankfully for us, we come through with a win, and Marco Ryan-Tala delivers all 3 points with his late winning goal. So the pass from De Sciglio, like I actually thought when I first did it, I initially overhit it way too much because he struggled to control it, but I just love the way he just swiveled on the turn, on the 180, received the pass, and then just rifled the ball into the top corner to make it 2-1. So final score 2-1. I'm so relieved to return to winning ways. I would have been so frustrated to have 5 games in the Serie A without a win, but thankfully the run without a win does end there, and we do collect all 3 points at the San Siro. And so for our third and final game of today's episode here, we will travel to England and travel to London more specifically to take on Chelsea in the Champions League group stage. Now coming into this one here away at Stamford Bridge, a win in this game would guarantee us going through to the knockout stages, but if we were to lose this game and if Porto beat Celtic, which is looking quite likely as Celtic only have 1 point throughout the group stage so far, then we would need to win on the final group stage game, otherwise we would finish in 3rd place. So a massive game for us here. We could ill afford to lose it. A win would be fantastic, a loss would be disastrous, and that's why 10 minutes before the break I was gutted to see this happen. We failed to deal with a free kick, we could only head it towards Eden Hazard, and the Belgian had a lot to do, but what about this for a goal from the Chelsea man? He chests it down and on the half volley puts it into the top corner, and Chelsea's number 10 steps up in a big game in a big way. What a goal, and makes it Chelsea 1, Milan 0. So losing this game, we could ill afford to do so. We spent over £100 million in the summer transfer window. Exiting the Champions League at the group stage would be a real possibility if we lost this game. So to fall behind 10 minutes before the break was absolutely disastrous. Chelsea 1, Milan 0, and the home side have to lead. But on the stroke of half time here, we had a good chance to equalise as Mats Hummels gets out hustled by Donnarumma, and midfielder wins the ball back here, gives it to Marco Ryan-Tala, who plays it through to Morata, has one man to beat, beats him with the fake shot and puts it into the back of the net. And just before the break here, just before the referee was about to blow for half time, Alvaro Morata, our most expensive signing of the summer transfer window, our second most expensive signing since we joined Milan, makes it 1-1 and equalises for the away side. So a big moment there going into the break. How we missed that chance, it would have been one of the best we'd get all game. It would be really crucial, but thankfully Morata keeps his composure, fake shots around the last man and puts it into the back of the net. And 3 minutes after the restart, when we still need to get ourselves another goal in this game, or at least I would think so, to make sure that going into the final game we'd have the best chance of qualifying, what does Alvaro Morata do? Well, you may not have seen it on the first instance, you may not see it on the first replay as well, but check out these final 2 replays. Alvaro Morata, with one of the goals of the season, turns the game on its head with his head as he diving headers the ball past Begovic with no celebration as well for one of the goals of the season, and makes it Chelsea 1, Milan 2, his 3rd goal in the Champions League already. So fantastic header by Morata there, turns the game on its head. What a goal, and it is Chelsea 1, Milan 2. So a great goal there. It's 2-1. Morata's double ensures we take the lead for the first time in the game, and he had a great chance to make it 3-1 there and get his hat-trick too in the 67th minute. Sadly could only hit the post though, and El Shaarawy fired the follow-up shot over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So still 2-1, but as the game was coming to its close though, Chelsea were desperate to try and get themselves an equalising goal. They don't want to fall down to third place in the group stage with a game to go, but unfortunately they're going to, and we are going to be qualifying for the knockout stages with a game to spare, because Divock Origi comes off the bench and scores his first Milan goal with just under 10 minutes to go. He got 2 bites of the cherry. The first shot was saved by Begovic, but it came straight back to him. He tapped in the rebound into the open goal, and the Belgian gets his first goal in a Milan shirt and makes it Chelsea 1, Milan 3. So we are going through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. It was a massive, massive game, one of the biggest ones of this season, but we turned up, we came from behind, we win the game. Final score at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea 1, Milan 3, and we are through to the Champions League knockout stages. So we had to do it the hard way. We had to come from behind, but 2 goals from Morata and 1 from the substitute Origi, getting his first goal for his new club. That's what we want to see. Really, really pleased to be going through. So we're not guaranteed to finish top. If we avoid defeat to Porto on the final game at the San Siro, we will be finishing top of the table, but it does mean that, top of the group should say, but it does mean that guaranteed now we are at least through in second place, if nothing else. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm still going to celebrate it even if we do finish in second place, because coming to that game, being a goal down with 10 minutes to go, I was fearing the worst. But fortunately, come the end of the episode, this is what we want to see. Top of the table and top of our Champions League group. Hopefully now we're going to get it sorted with Milan and start getting back on the right track. But that is going to end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave likes. That's of course much appreciated. And really help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.